This guide explains the Stinkbug Start in detail. We also cover the important Rodeo Stinkbug. During a basic start, you can generally begin kneeling, upright, or even standing, then simply pick up the wing. That's fine if you're using a super stable, high volume beginner board. On a smaller board or in more choppy conditions, you can easily fall while upright like this, especially while raising the wing. The Stinkbug Start overcomes that problem, since you begin crouched under the wing and being low helps you balance. Then, because you're already holding the handles or boom, you can rapidly pop up and get moving, and once you're moving, the board becomes stable. Let's walk through the basic Stinkbug first, then we'll look at the Rodeo Stinkbug after. Start by laying on the board. Throughout, aim for a forwards-backwards weight placement that keeps the nose of the board slightly raised. Pull in the wing if you're not already holding it. Turn the nose of the board slightly downwind. You can push against the water or the wing to do this. Move the wing overhead, then hold the wing's front handle with the front hand. The back hand can now hold the rail of the board. Place both elbows beside your waist. Lean on your elbows while you tuck in your knees. Your knees should be very close to the center of buoyancy of the board for a good weight distribution. In one movement, grab the back handle and raise the front hand to fly your hand wing. The hand wing should get you moving straight away, and once you're moving, your foil will act as a large stabilizer. You can now stand and take off. Let's review that riding the other way. Lay on the board and collect your wing. Turn the nose of the board slightly downwind. Get the wing overhead with the front hand holding the front handle. Place elbows beside your waist. Lean on your elbows a bit and bring your knees under your body. Grab the back handle and quickly raise the wing. Once moving, the board will stabilize. When you first lift the wing, you will experience a sudden force from it that acts in a downwind direction. If the nose of the board is aimed fully crosswind or slightly upwind, then this initial downwind jolt can easily roll you to the side. That's why it helps to have the nose of the board turned slightly downwind. This will protect you from tilting when you first raise the wing. Throughout the Stinkbug Start, it is important to get your forwards-backwards weight placement correct. At any point, if you're too far forward, you could nosedive. Or if you're too far back, the nose will raise too much, making the board less stable and much slower to get moving. You are aiming to have the nose slightly raised throughout. Note, the smaller the board that you use, the more precise your weight placement must be. The Rodeo Stinkbug variation offers further advantages over the basic Stinkbug. Let's walk through the technique. Hold the wing and then straddle the board. You can then pick up the wing and taxi easily, even in choppy conditions. Holding the board between your legs like this gives a lot of control. When you're ready to water start, drop your elbows into position. It helps to release the back hand so you can grip the rail of your board. You then place all your weight on your arms which allows you to rapidly lift your legs up from the side of the board. You are then crouched under the wing, just like the basic Stinkbug. You can then place your backhand and raise the front hand to get the wing powered up and moving you. Let's look at that riding the other way. There are a number of benefits to this rodeo Stinkbug. With this technique you can get from taxiing in rodeo to taxiing while kneeling in about 2 seconds. If you're really quick, you may find that you're able to keep some forward speed throughout. Because you barely stop moving, you are much more stable. The other advantage is that while taxiing in rodeo stance, you can plow out through chop and smaller foamy waves, since your legs can grip onto the board. Plus, from that position, you also get a good vantage point to assess the water's surface. When you spot a gap in the waves, you can get up and ride away very quickly. So the rodeo Stinkbug can help you handle even smaller boards and even more choppy conditions. I would recommend learning to taxi like this. There are a couple of minor disadvantages to the rodeo version. You need a little more strength and flexibility to bring your legs up from the sides of the board. Also, you get less time to think about your weight placement, so you really need to be sure where to place elbows and knees. That's why it's a good idea to start with the basic version. Work on that until you have excellent forwards-backwards weight placement throughout the technique. Thanks for watching and good luck improving your Stinkbug starts.